Hello everyone, welcome to this Greek lesson on how to describe people. In this video, we'll cover practical words and phrases you can use every day when talking about people in Greek. This lesson is ideal for beginners at A2 level, and it is great practice whether you're learning Greek for daily life or preparing for the Greek language proficiency exam. Let's get started. Pause here if you'd like to read a quick tip about learning vocabulary. I also have a full video with more advice on learning in general, plus extra tips for building your vocabulary and grammar. Check it out when you have time. You'll find the link in the description below. If you are happy that you know the basics on nouns and articles, singular and plural, you can skip the grammar section of this video and go straight to the vocab section by clicking the link at the timestamp in the description of this video. If you have any questions, drop me a message in the comment section. Let's go over some key points for learning Greek vocabulary that will help you build a solid foundation. First, always check the ending of the word. In Greek, the ending tells you the gender almost every time. This is the key to choosing the right article. Second, once you recognize the gender from the ending, learn it along with the noun. Mastering gender early makes articles and adjective agreement much easier and saves you a lot of effort down the line. And finally, pay attention to the singular and plural forms. This lesson gives you clear examples to help you spot patterns and grow your vocabulary with confidence. Let's take a closer look at each of these points now. Now let's talk about the characteristics of Greek nouns. Understanding these will help you learn vocabulary faster and more accurately. First, the gender is easy to identify. Greek nouns follow predictable patterns, which makes it simple to match the correct article. Secondly, there are three genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Knowing the gender helps you pick the right article and match adjectives properly. Third, Greek nouns change slightly depending on their role in a sentence, whether they're the subject or the object. This is important for grammar later on. And finally, the good news is Greek nouns follow easy patterns. So once you start recognizing those, it becomes much easier to know how words change. Let's keep going and see how this works with real examples. Just pause for a moment and read this slide. If you know the gender of the word, it sets the theme for the entire phrase. Knowing this is the second pearl of advice after the tips on learning the alphabet that I share with you. Know to identify the gender just by the ending of the word. This is the case 99% of the time, and the exceptions you can learn when they arrive in life. Imagine being correct 99% of the time. This is a huge advantage to you. If you know the gender, you can use the correct article. After that, it's easier to learn how to make the word plural. This is just a short introduction to gender, singular, and plural in Greek. To learn more, watch the full video lesson on Greek nouns and gender. In my lessons, I don't focus on grammar terms. I keep things simple and practical. But there are two terms I'd like you to learn because I know they'll really help as you go through the lessons. And they are nouns and articles. That's it, just those two. Understanding them will make everything else easier as we move forward. And now I'm just going to read what is on the slide. If you have any experience with the English language, you'll know what I'm talking about. What is a noun? A noun is a thing, anything. If you can put the word the in front of it, it's a noun. The dog, the car, the man, the happiness. In Greek, we also say the George, the Mary, and the Kostas. Got it? And now, what is an article? Easy. The word a, an, and the word the are articles. We have an indefinite article, which is a or an in English, and a definite article, the. Okay, so let's learn the gender of a noun, or a thing. Greek nouns have one of three genders: neuter, feminine, or masculine, as you can see on this slide. Now, when a word ends in one of these 8 endings, it will tell you the gender of the word 99% of the time. The neuter endings are o, e, ma. The feminine endings are I, a, and the masculine endings are is, as, and os. Here is a quick obvious tip. If there's no sigma, the Greek s, then it is not masculine. Also, don't try to memorize these all at once. You will have plenty of opportunity to cover these again. Just gradually acquire them. Now you have had an introduction to the singular noun ending of genders. Here's the brief lesson on how to make singular Greek nouns plural. Let's take a look at the endings of neuter nouns. So, when the word ends in o, you change the o to an a. When the word ends in I, you add an a. When the word ends in ma, you add a ta. Let's take a look at the feminine endings. When a word ends in I, you change the I to S. When the word ends in A, you change the A to S. And now the masculine. If the word ends in is, you change the is to S. If the word ends in us, you change the us to S. If the word ends in os, you change the os to I. Here is a tip. See the similarities between the feminine and the first two masculine. So, when you are learning Greek, right throughout your lessons, always observe the I and the A of the feminine and the is and the as of the masculine. They always have some kind of a relationship. When you see a masculine noun ending in os, they always operate by their own rules. View the lesson on gender, singular and plural for a more detailed explanation. Now, I already explained to you what an article is. Let's take a look at how they work. Again, we have the three genders, neuter, feminine, and masculine. We are going to discuss the definite article the for the purposes of our vocabulary lesson. Let's look at some examples. Let's take a look at the word the in all three genders. So for neuter, the word the for singular is to. The plural is ta. Feminine singular is I. And the plural is I. They have the same sound, just different spelling. Masculine, the singular is o. The plural is I. Let's look at some examples. These are practical examples using the definite article the. Neuter. To vivilium, the book. To spiti, the house. To mathema, the lesson. Feminine. I fili, the friend. I gyneka, the woman. I salata, the salad. Masculine. O fititis, the student. O andras, the man. O philos, the friend. Let's go over them one more time. Neuter. To vivilio. To spiti. To mathima. Feminine. I fili. I yeneca. I salata. And masculine. O fititis. O andras. O philos. Now let's take a look at their plural forms. Neuter. To vivilio. Da vivlia. To spiti. Da spitia. To mathima. Da mathimata. Feminine. I fili. I files. I yeneca. I yeneques. I salata. I salates. Masculine. O fititis. I fitites. O andras. I andres. O philos. I fili. Let's look and listen to the following vocabulary. But first, just a few notes. I will say the words slowly. I will repeat them. I will exaggerate the stress on the word. Here you will have the opportunity to practice and learn the pronunciation, and you will learn to place the correct stress on the word. Let's continue. Here we have personality adjectives. Every now and then we have one irregular, and as in the word honest, ilikrinis, ilikrinis, that is for masculine and feminine. Ilikrinis. But for neuter, we will say ilikrines, ilikrines. Shy, shy in English, tropalos, tropalos, tropali, tropali, tropalo, tropalo. Outgoing, kinonikos, kinonikos, kinoniki, kinoniki, kinoniko, kinoniko. Patient, ipomonetikos, ipomonetikos, ipomonetiki, ipomonetiki, ipomonetiko, ipomonetiko. Talkative, omilitikos, omilitikos, omilitiki, omilitiki, omilitiko, omilitiko. And funny, astios, astios, astia, astia, astio, astio. And nice, kalos, kalos, kali, kali, kalo, kalo. Confident, siguros, siguros, siguri, Siguri. Siguro. Siguro. Stylish. Compsos. Compsos. Compsi. Compsi. Compso. Compso. So there you have it, the personality adjectives in the masculine, feminine, and neuter forms. Describing someone in the feminine form. Asking, what is she like? What's she like? Πώς είναι αυτή? Πώς είναι αυτή? Πώς είναι αυτή? You can respond by saying, she's honest and patient. Είναι ειλικρινής και υπομονετική. Είναι ειλικρινής και υπομονετική. Είναι ειλικρινής και υπομονετική. Describing someone in the masculine form. What is he like? What's he like? Πώς είναι αυτός? Πώς είναι αυτός? He is funny and kind. He's funny and kind. Είναι αστείος και καλός. Είναι αστείος και καλός. Είναι αστείος και καλός. How to describe in the neuter form. Now we can describe a child. The child, το παιδί, is neuter. What's the child like? What is the child like? Πώς είναι το παιδί? Πώς είναι το παιδί? And we can answer, the child is talkative and funny. Το παιδί είναι ομιλητικό και αστείο. Το παιδί είναι ομιλητικό και αστείο. How to describe the appearance of someone. The attractiveness. Η ελκυστικότητα. Η ελκυστικότητα. Η ελκυστικότητα. The weight. Το βάρος. Το βάρος. The age. Η ηλικία. Η ηλικία. The height. Το ύψος. Το ύψος. The hair. Τα μαλλιά. Τα μαλλιά. The clothes. The clothing. Τα ρούχα. Τα ρούχα. Asking about appearance. To talk about someone's attractiveness, height, or weight, we can ask, what does she look like? What does he look like? In terms of appearance. Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? And that is the same for masculine, feminine, and neuter. How to say someone is stylish. For masculine, είναι πολύ κομψός. He is very stylish. Είναι πολύ κομψός. She is very stylish. Είναι πολύ κομψή. Είναι πολύ κομψή. Describing someone's attractiveness in the feminine form. She is cute. Είναι χαριτωμένη. Είναι χαριτωμένη. She is pretty. Είναι όμορφη. Είναι όμορφη. She is beautiful. Είναι πανέμορφη. Είναι πανέμορφη. Describing attractiveness in the masculine form. To say, he is handsome. Είναι όμορφος. Είναι όμορφος. Describing someone's height. He is short. Είναι κοντός. Είναι κοντός. She is short. Είναι κοντή. Είναι κοντή. And if we were describing a child, will we use the neuter form? The child is short. Είναι κοντό. Είναι κοντό. When we want to say someone is of average height, it's the same for all genders. We'll use the masculine for the example. He is average height. Έχει μέτριο ύψος. Έχει μέτριο ύψος. And for he is tall, είναι ψηλός. Είναι ψηλός. She is tall. Είναι ψηλή. Είναι ψηλή. And for example, describing the height of a child, το παιδί είναι ψηλό. Το παιδί είναι ψηλό. Describing the physical appearance of someone. He is thin. Είναι λεπτός. Είναι λεπτός. She is thin. Είναι λεπτή. Είναι λεπτή. The child is thin. Είναι λεπτό. Είναι λεπτό. Describing someone who is a little chubby, a little heavy. He is a little heavy. Είναι λίγο παχουλός. Είναι λίγο παχουλός. She is a little heavy. Είναι λίγο παχουλή. Είναι λίγο παχουλή. And the child is a little heavy. Είναι λίγο παχουλό. Είναι λίγο παχουλό. To say someone is of average weight, we use the same for all three genders. Έχει μέτριο βάρος. Έχει μέτριο βάρος. To say someone is muscular, here you will see an exception as we learned earlier on in the lesson. The masculine and the feminine are the same, and the neuter has an unusual ending. He is muscular. Είναι μειώδης. Είναι μειώδης. She is muscular. Είναι μειώδης. Είναι μειώδης. And for neuter, είναι μειώδες. Είναι μειώδες. To say someone is slim or slender, he is slim. Είναι αδύνατος. Είναι αδύνατος. She is slim. Είναι αδύνατη. Είναι αδύνατη. And for a child, είναι αδύνατο. Είναι αδύνατο. How to describe someone's hairstyle or hair type. It is the same for all genders because we are describing hair. She has straight hair. Έχει ίσια μαλλιά. Έχει ίσια μαλλιά. She has wavy hair. Έχει σπαστά μαλλιά. Έχει σπαστά μαλλιά. She has curly hair. Έχει σγουρά μαλλιά. Έχει σγουρά μαλλιά. How to describe the length of hair. Also, same for all genders because again we are talking about hair. She has long hair. Έχει μακριά μαλλιά. Έχει μακριά μαλλιά. She has shoulder-length hair. Έχει μαλλιά μέχρι τους ώμους. Έχει μαλλιά μέχρι τους ώμους. She has short hair. Έχει κοντά μαλλιά. Έχει κοντά μαλλιά. How to describe hair color. And once again, same for all genders because we are talking about hair. She has blonde hair. Έχει ξανθά μαλλιά. Έχει ξανθά μαλλιά. She has black hair. Έχει μαύρα μαλλιά. Έχει μαύρα μαλλιά. She has brown hair. Έχει καστανά μαλλιά. Έχει καστανά μαλλιά. She has red hair. Έχει κόκκινα μαλλιά. Έχει κόκκινα μαλλιά. She has grey hair. Έχει γκρίζα μαλλιά. Έχει γκρίζα μαλλιά. Describing men's facial hair and appearance. He is bald. Είναι φαλακρός. Είναι φαλακρός. He has a moustache. Έχει μουστάκι. Έχει μουστάκι. He has a beard. Έχει γενιάδα. Έχει γενιάδα. Talking about age. Let's talk about age and to ask what age someone is. How old is he? Πόσων χρονών είναι αυτός? Πόσων χρονών είναι αυτός? How old is she? Πόσο χρονών είναι αυτή? Πόσο χρονών είναι αυτή? He is young. Είναι νέος. Είναι νέος. She is young. Είναι νέα. Είναι νέα. And the child is young. Είναι νέο. Είναι νέο. He is middle-aged. Είναι μεσήλικας. Είναι μεσήλικας. She is middle-aged. Είναι μεσήλικη. Είναι μεσήλικη. We can't have a child as middle-aged, but it's there if you happen to need it, with the o. He is elderly. Είναι ηλικιωμένος. Είναι ηλικιωμένος. She is elderly. Είναι ηλικιωμένη. Είναι ηλικιωμένη. How to say someone's age if you don't know their age exactly. Note that here we are using the verb είμαι in its third person form singular, so it'll apply to all genders. He is in his 20s. Είναι στις αρχές των 20. Είναι στις αρχές των 20. He is in his mid-20s. Είναι στα μέσα των 20. Είναι στα μέσα των 20. He is in his late 20s. Είναι στα τέλη των 20. Είναι στα τέλη των 20. Once again, if you don't know the exact age of someone, she is around 20 years old. Είναι περίπου 20 χρονών. Είναι περίπου 20 χρονών. She is around 30 years old. Είναι περίπου 30 χρονών. Είναι περίπου 30 χρονών. Let's talk about what people wear. Let's talk about colors. There are a couple of things to pay attention to on this slide. Take a look at the notes. The first one, where you see the asterisks, you'll notice those verbs don't change according to gender. We call them invariable colors. Then you'll see the others that do change according to gender. You'll see the O representing the neuter form. All you have to do is change it to suit the gender, the feminine and the masculine. Let's start. Blue, ble, ble. Red, κόκκινο, κόκκινο. Yellow, κίτρινο, κίτρινο. Green, πράσινο, πράσινο. Brown, café, café. Pink, rose, rose. Grey, gris, gris. Black, mavro, mavro. White, aspro, aspro. Orange, portocalί, portocalί. Sky blue, γαλάζιο, γαλάζιο. And you'll notice the feminine doesn't have the usual I ending. In this case, it has A ending. So we have γαλάζια, γαλάζια. Gold, χρυσό, χρυσό. And silver, ασημί, ασημί. How to describe what we wear and to ask what someone is wearing. What is he wearing? Τι φοράει? Τι φοράει? Of course, τι φοράει is the same for the feminine. He is wearing a white t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers. Φοράει ένα άσπρο μπλουζάκι, jean και sneakers. Φοράει ένα άσπρο μπλουζάκι, jean και sneakers. Sneakers, of course, is a borrowed word. Let's look at some clothing items. Starting on the top left, going anti-clockwise. The t-shirt To bluzaki. To bluzaki. The jeans. To jean. To jean. The shoes. Ta papucia. Ta papucia. Moving to the center character. The suit jacket. To sakaki. To sakaki. The skirt. I fusta. I fusta. The handbag. I tsanta. I tsanta. The blouse. I blusa. I blusa. Now moving to the right. The high heels. I roves. I roves. The dress. To forma. To forma. Starting with the character on the left. The uniform. I stoli. I stoli. The center character. The hat. To capello. To capello. The shirt. To pucamiso. To pucamiso. The sunglasses. Ta yalya iliu. Ta yalya iliu. The slip-flops. I sagionares. I sagionares. The shorts. To sorts. To sorts. Again a borrowed word. The t-shirt. To bluzaki. To bluzaki. Now the character in the suit on the right-hand side. The suit jacket. To sakaki. To sakaki. The belt. I zoni. I zoni. The shoes. Ta papucia. Ta papucia. The pants. To panteloni. To panteloni. The suit. To costumi. To costumi. The shirt. To pucamiso. To pucamiso. The necktie. I cravata. I cravata. Let's describe someone. Tell me about her. What is she like? Pus ine afti. Pus ine afti. She is sociable and very stylish. Ine κοινωνική και πολυκομψή. Είναι κοινωνική και πολυκομψή. What does she look like? Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? She is tall and slim. Είναι ψηλή και αδύνατη. Είναι ψηλή και αδύνατη. She has long, straight, blonde hair. Έχει μακριά, ίσια, ξανθά μαλλιά. Έχει μακριά, ίσια, ξανθά μαλλιά. How old is she? Πόσο χρονών είναι? Πόσο χρονών είναι? She is in her mid-twenties. Είναι στα μέσα των 20. Είναι στα μέσα των 20. What is she wearing? Τι φοράει? She is wearing a white blouse and a short black skirt. Φοράει μια άσπρη μπλούζα και μια κοντή μαύρη φούστα. Φοράει μια άσπρη μπλούζα και μια κοντή μαύρη φούστα. She is also wearing black high heels. Φοράει επίσης μαύρες γόβες. Φοράει επίσης μαύρες γόβες. Let's read the entire dialogue in Greek. Πώς είναι αυτή? Είναι κοινωνική και πολυκομψή. Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? Είναι ψηλή και αδύνατη. Έχει μακριά, ίσια, ξανθά μαλλιά. Πόσο χρονών είναι? Είναι στα μέσα των 20. Τι φοράει? Φοράει μια άσπρη μπλούζα και μια κοντή μαύρη φούστα. Φοράει επίσης μαύρες γόβες. And now a masculine version. Tell me about him. What is he like? Πώς είναι αυτός? Πώς είναι αυτός? He is sociable and very stylish. Είναι κοινωνικός και πολύ κομψός. Είναι κοινωνικός και πολύ κομψός. What does he look like? Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? He is tall and slim. Είναι ψηλός και αδύνατος. Είναι ψηλός και αδύνατος. He has short hair, a beard, and moustache. Έχει κοντά μαλλιά, γενιάδα και μουστάκι. Έχει κοντά μαλλιά, γενιάδα και μουστάκι. How old is he? Πόσο χρονών είναι? Πόσο χρονών είναι? He is in his late 20s. Είναι στα τέλη των 20. Είναι στα τέλη των 20. What is he wearing? Τι φοράει? Τι φοράει? He is wearing a grey pullover, blue pants and sneakers. Φοράει ένα γκρι pullover, μπλε πανtaloni και sneakers. Φοράει ένα γκρι pullover, μπλε pantaloni και sneakers. He is also wearing a hat and glasses. Φοράει επίσης ένα καπέλο και γυαλιά. Φοράει επίσης ένα καπέλο και γυαλιά. Let's read the entire Greek dialogue. Πώς είναι αυτός? Είναι κοινωνικός και πολύ κομψός. Πώς είναι στην εμφάνιση? Είναι ψηλός και αδύνατος. Έχει κοντά μαλλιά, γενιάδα και μουστάκι. Πόσο χρονών είναι? Είναι στα τέλη των 20. Τι φοράει? Φοράει ένα γκρι pullover, μπλε πανταλόνι και sneakers. Φοράει επίσης ένα καπέλο και γυαλιά. Here are a few extra tips on learning vocabulary, such as pause and read, and I'm looking forward to meeting you at your first Greek lesson.